Hey, welcome. For the next few minutes, think of me as your guide. We're about to go on a 4-week sprint through the Cloudflare developer platform. The whole point here is to lay out a path that can take you from just being curious to being a confident cloud developer, someone who's actually ready to build and ship apps right on the edge. So here it is, the big challenge. Can you become a cloud developer in just 4 weeks? Now, I know that sounds ambitious, but it is absolutely doable. This is about more than just learning some new code. It's about totally transforming your skill set and getting you prepped to build some seriously cool, fast applications. So, are you in? Every epic journey starts with a little bit of prep work. Before we dive in and start writing code that runs all over the world, we have to make sure our foundation is rock solid. Trust me, getting this stuff down now is going to make the rest of this journey way smoother and a whole lot more fun. Okay, so what's in our starting toolkit? Look, these aren't just casual suggestions. This is the essential gear you need. JavaScript and TypeScript are going to be your main languages. The command line, that's your map, and Git is like your travel log for tracking all your changes. And of course, having a good grip on how the web works with HTTP and Node.js is crucial. Get comfortable here and everything else will just click into place. All right, prep work is officially done. Welcome to week 1. This week is all about getting your hands dirty. We're going to get your very first piece of code running on Cloudflare's global network. We're jumping straight into the deep end with 2 massive concepts, serverless and edge computing. So what do these buzzwords actually mean? Well, serverless is pretty simple. You just write the code, and Cloudflare handles all the boring server stuff for you. No patching, no managing, nothing. Then, edge computing takes that idea and puts it on steroids. It runs your code in data centers all over the world, so it's physically closer to your users. What's the result? Well, it means an online store loads just as fast for someone in Tokyo as it does for someone in New York. That, right there, is the power of the edge. You might think deploying your first app is going to be this huge, complicated process. It's not. It really boils down to 4 simple commands. First, you install Wrangler, which is Cloudflare's command line tool. Then you kick off a new project, you write a tiny hello world function, and then you just type Wrangler deploy. That's it. Your code is now live across the entire globe. To make all that magic happen, you're going to lean on these 3 tools. We just met Wrangler. Miniflare is a total game changer. It lets you test and run everything on your own machine before you push it live. And of course, your good old browser developer tools are going to be your best friend for checking on what your live worker is actually doing. Master these 3 and you'll be unstoppable. Let's move on to week 2. We're going to tackle the next big piece of the puzzle, data. Now that you've got code running on the edge, you're going to need somewhere to put stuff, right? So we're going to dive into Cloudflare's storage solutions, which are, you guessed it, also globally distributed. A huge part of being a great developer is knowing which tool to use for which job. For simple key value things like feature flags or config settings, Workers KV is perfect. If you've got big files like images or videos, you'll want R2 storage. And for more complex, structured data, think user accounts, the D1 database is your go-to. Nailing these choices is key to building apps that can really scale. And hey, quick pro tip for you. Working with SQL databases can sometimes mean dealing with really tricky schema changes and migrations. But there are awesome tools out there, like Drizzle. It's what they call an ORM. It works beautifully with D1 and lets you manage your whole database structure right from your code. It makes things so much simpler. Okay, welcome to week 3. This is where we really level up. You've got code running, you're storing data. Now it's time to unlock some of Cloudflare's most powerful features, like managing complex state and tapping into AI whenever you need it. This is where your apps go from being simple to being truly intelligent. One of the hardest problems in serverless development is managing state. And that's exactly what durable objects are designed to solve. Just think of a durable object as this single living entity that can manage complex stuff. It's perfect for things like a live chat room, a real-time game, or even a collaborative editor like Google Docs, all running right at the edge. And now for the really cool part, Workers AI. This lets you tap into incredibly powerful machine learning models with just a single line of code. You can generate text for a chatbot, you can have it classify images, or you can even build a powerful recommendation engine. That last one uses something called Vectorize, which is amazing for finding similar items in your data. It just makes adding AI to your apps ridiculously easy. We are in the home stretch. Week 4 is all about production. We're going to cover deploying full-stack applications, locking them down with amazing security, and plugging it all into a modern workflow. This is how you ship code like a pro, with total confidence. You know, Cloudflare Pages makes deploying a full-stack application just incredibly smooth. You literally just connect your Git repository, tweak a couple of settings, and then every single time you push a change, Pages automatically builds and deploys your site to the entire global network. You can even add serverless functions right alongside it to handle all your backend logic. And you don't have to be a security expert to protect your app. Cloudflare gives you all of these essential security layers right out of the box. You get automatic SSL encryption for everything, a web application firewall to block common attacks, and tools to stop bots and prevent abuse. It's basically enterprise-level security that's available to everyone. So you did it. You made it through the 4 weeks. You've learned the concepts, you've used the tools, but let's be real. The main goal here is to launch your career. So let's talk about how to take all these new skills and turn them into an actual job offer. This is the most important question, right? It's great to learn all this stuff, but what really gets you hired is proving that you know it. You have to be able to translate all this knowledge into something a hiring manager can actually see and understand. And the absolute best way to do that is to build a portfolio. You could start with projects just like these. Each one of them combines different parts of the Cloudflare platform: a URL shortener, an image gallery, a serverless API, maybe even an AI search tool. Building these proves to employers that you can actually connect the dots and apply what you've learned to solve real problems. And let's be super clear about the value here. These aren't just fun little side projects. The skills that you've just spent 4 weeks learning are exactly what companies are looking for right now in those high-demand, entry-level cloud developer jobs. You are now speaking their language. So when you walk into that interview, you're going to be ready. They're going to ask you to explain the why, like what are the benefits of the edge. They'll quiz you on when to use KV instead of D1. They'll definitely want to know how you think about security and your development workflow. And now, you've got the answers to all of those questions. This 4-week sprint is an incredible start, but it's really just the beginning of your journey. The tech world moves incredibly fast, so let's talk about how you can stay sharp, keep on learning, and get plugged into the developer community. Remember, you are not alone on this path. The official Cloudflare docs should be your Bible. The developers Discord is an amazing community of people who are always happy to help and share what they're building. And definitely don't forget about the AI tutor on the roadmap site. It's like having a 24/7 assistant that can help you when you get stuck. And so we end right where we started, with a question. You have the map. You have the tools. You have the knowledge. The only thing left to do is to start building. So, what's it going to be? What will you build first? Hey,